Hello, happy Wednesday, everybody. I hope your Wednesday is going good. Today's been such a wild day for me, and at the end of that day, having to focus. Beyond everything, I feel that even though things are wild, I feel like there's still a good focus here, okay? We're still very focused. I've had a wild day, but I was still able to unwind and focus, and that's good energy for this Wednesday. All right. So I've already pulled out the cards, and today I'm using the Dreams of Gaia Tarot. I really resonated with this deck when I first got this deck. And it's not like your traditional tarot deck, right? It's definitely not like your traditional tarot deck. But when I first got this deck, I sat for hours just really pulling out cards and meditating on them. The colors, the pictures are just really beautiful. And then the meanings are also really out there too, right? So I'm going to read a little differently. A lot of times I like to reference the Rider-Waite deck and the traditional meanings of the cards. But that's kind of all out the window today, okay? And that might be what is for some of you guys, okay? Like the traditional way is out the window. So I'm going to go ahead and read this out to you guys. Well, let's talk about what I got put out before we get into the reading, okay? For the overall energy, I have the 6, and I got the number 6 popping up twice, okay? But I have the 6 of fire, and it's coupled with the integrity card. The 6 of fire coupled with the integrity card. For your energies that are working with you, I have the 10 of water, and the 12 of earth, which is the seneschal. Don't laugh at me, y'all. Okay. For the energies that are working against us, the energies we want to avoid, I have the Father and coupled with the Crone. Wow, that's interesting. And then for the advice card, we have the 6 of earth with the choices, the 0 card. Okay, the choices card. Well, this one this one I can reference to as the Fool, because in this card, it's the beginning. It is kind of like the Fool. And the Fool is making a choice to make a new leap, right? And we got the choices card out here. So that's making an appearance. I got a good earthly, feeling from this, okay? We have one fire card, one water card, but a lot of earth in this deck, okay? So I still got the feeling that a lot of you guys are grounded, okay? Very, very grounded today on this Wednesday. All right, very grounded. I feel like it's a smooth deck of cards that I pulled out. The number 6 also pops up, okay? The number 6 and the number 5, okay? If that has any meaning to you, the number 5. Some of us may be dealing with earth signs, okay? Maybe an Aries, possibly. I got a Virgo feeling in here, okay? I'm not using the traditional meaning, but I got a feeling of the Virgo card in here, okay? And I have a feeling of Aquarius too, okay? But I have strong earth signs, all right? So we're going to go ahead and jump right into the reading. So for this Wednesday, the overall energy that I have is the 6 of fire and the integrity card in the Dreams of Gaia Tarot, right? And I feel like this is all about conflict resolution, okay? We're talking about conflict resolution with these cards. The 6 of fire is all about mediation, okay? Negotiations, okay? Boundaries, okay? And there's a feeling of a need for a mediator, and it's interesting because the mediator is like the devil here. Okay, the devil is the mediator in between these two. We could be dealing with the Capricorn who's the mediator, but I see the devil, which is interesting here. That's quite interesting how they've drawn this picture. But he is mediating between the two. It could be between a fire sign and an earth sign also. But the integrity card is just about what it is. It's about, having integrity and being honest. Okay. So I guess there's a need for transparency. That's what I'm feeling. As the overall vibe going on. It's funny because she's also naked. So I got the feeling of the star here of the Aquarius and that's also bringing healing. Okay. Because she's also in the forest, I feel like, there's a thing where everybody may be like, both sides may be acting out of their primitive sides, okay? Both sides may be acting out of their primitive sides. But there's a need for also healing. I see healing in this mediation that's going to go on today. Sometimes it's best to get an outside party, especially when two people are so different and they have conflicting views that they just cannot resolve here, okay? It's like we're both animals. There's a need to be honest, and I think in all honesty, that both parties are acting out of their primitive nature, out of their lower selves, okay? You're not acting as the higher being, but there's a need to be honest or truthful with yourselves. It's so funny. It's very funny. A lot of times, sometimes people could be very similar, okay? And that is conflicting. Even though we're both reacting in different ways, we're kind of really similar. Those are the people you tend to have the most problems with, right? All right. So, that's definitely what I'm seeing. Let's go ahead and jump into the energies, the cards that are working for you. And let's see how this conflict resolution is going to work itself out. Okay. And for the positive energy, we have the 10 of Cups with the Seneschal. I hope I'm saying it right. Okay. Now, when we're talking about the 10 of Cups in here, the 10 of Water, the normal 10 of Cups is talking about your own emotional fulfillment, okay, a lot of times. I love this deck, and you can really see like the higher growth of the tarot in here, how the tarot has evolved. This is a higher understanding where the 10 of Waters over here is more about universal love, being divinely connected, that agape love, okay? That all-loving, unconditional love that we all seek and yearn for. That kind of love that you're going to get from perhaps God, okay? That godly love, all right? So that's what that 10 of Cups is all about. And that's the energy that's working for you. And this is more of a mature... love, okay? It's not a love of, what I'm getting first or what I'm getting from you. It's more of a love that I'm just going to unconditionally love you. I love the fact that it has the turtle over here, okay? Turtles are very slow, but turtles can live to be, the oldest creatures in nature. So there's that sense of that gentle, kind love, okay? At the same time, it's coupled with the Sentinel, the 12 of Earth, okay? Which is also talking about like being a more of a mediator and a servant, okay? Somebody who serves for justice. Now, the Sentinel has that dog, which gives me the feeling of loyalty too, okay? Somebody who's really loyal, somebody you can trust and be trustworthy. So the energy is working for you is to think this causes somebody, and this is like more of a mature kind of understanding, a mature kind of love, where we're thinking from our higher selves and not necessarily from our lower selves, is that loyal love, okay? That unconditional love. And it's telling you to love even if somebody is different, because we're talking about conflict resolution over here. Even if somebody is different, okay? Even if somebody is rubbing you the wrong way, they're asking you to show them more love and loyalty. And this is the energy that's going to work for you, okay? It may be somebody you're having a disagreement with, somebody you cannot get along with, but we're talking about that unconditional love, okay? Wow. This reading is really, it's funny, and I have the need to say, this kind of love that you're given may hurt, okay? And it gotta possibly, that's why I'm getting that servant, like that dog love. Your dog is gonna love you regardless of whether you beat it, okay? Even if you leave it outside, if you're mean to your dog still comes back and loves you, okay? The dog isn't going to be mad at you because you forgot to feed him one day. Okay? And that's that kind of love they're talking about, that unconditional love. And that's the energy that's working for you this Wednesday. This is really interesting, okay? So even if somebody may step on your toes, it's a day where we're like, you're being called to love unconditionally. And unconditional love is like being a servant, okay? It's like being a servant. It's about sacrifice a lot of times, all right? And this is really tough, okay? But it's that godly love, okay? It's that godly love. In order to do that, and I want to say that in order to do that, you kind of have to look at people as, I don't want to say beneath you, but younger than you. You kind of have to, take on like the grandma approach. You know what I mean? These are little kids. If a little kid steps on your toe, you're not going to get angry. If somebody your age steps on your toe, you might even think it's cute if a little kid does it, right? But when an adult your age and on your level does it, that's a whole different story, okay? So in order to operate in this, you have to kind of see yourself as above. That's the secret. God is above us. Jesus was above us. That's why he came and did that sacrifice for us. And that's the secret that some people are not necessarily seeing, okay? That is, that's a little trick to it too. Like, I'm above your behavior, I'm above your thinking, and therefore I can handle that. All right? Now, that's one way of looking at it. And that's another secret to part of being that, okay? If that makes any sense. All right. Okay. This is quite interesting. I do not know why I pulled out these cards. This is quite interesting. Because, I'm jumping right into the negative energy, okay? So for the negative energy, I have the Father and I have the Crone over here. And this is very interesting that I did talk about that agape love. There are different types of love, right? There's a love you have from your father. There's a love that you have from your mother. And then there's that godly love, which is not what you get from your mother and your father. It's different, okay? So for the energies working against you here, I have the Father and I have the Crone. The Crone comes right after the Father. This is the ultimate man leader and the woman leader. So this is the Empress and the Emperor over here. Okay? This is the Empress and the Emperor. And it's so funny that they're not even together. This is them on their own, which is real interesting. And this is real interesting that they put them in these two states. But the Crone and the Father over here, a lot of times it's hard for people to get into different roles and characters. We are all many things, okay? We are all many, many things. But sometimes it's hard for us to get into different characters. And sometimes you find somebody who has kids trying to children people who are younger than them, okay? So if this is the situation, You are better off coming from that godly love rather than trying to be somebody's parent. Okay. And that's what I'm trying to see over here in conflict resolution, especially when you're dealing with two different age sets. We could be dealing with people who are on the job. I don't know where you're at or what kind of situation you're in. It could be on the job. I'm not 100% sure. You could be dealing with older, younger people, and you might be trying to come at them as if they are your, parents. I remember having a conversation with a lady, and she was talking to me about how older women who would come to the school would try to act like they were the younger. She works at a school, and they would try to act like the parents of the younger people, and the younger people like, look, I got parents at home, and I'm trying to escape that. I'm trying to find my own way. Like, we're all in the same position here. And it's kind of that kind of vibe that we have over here. It's quite interesting that I'm looking at the crone and the father, because these are actually positive energies, but they're in the negative. There's nothing wrong with that energy. Some people need that. In a relationship, some people need that. But here we are talking about, and this could also be in a relationship. I don't know where it falls in your life. I could be talking about multiple people, but wherever you're finding this situation at, the area where we're having problems is that somebody might be trying to be somebody's mother or father when they just need that godly love, okay? And that's the problem and why we're trying to resolve this conflict over here, okay? And I feel like all of this is going to come and bear loose. All right. Especially, that's the healing going on over here, especially with the integrity card over here where the woman is naked. OK, and that's what we're looking at over here. OK, that's what we're looking at. It's so funny that I'm seeing a lot of animals in this. OK, I'm seeing a lot of animals in this. I'm seeing the turtle and the dog over here versus the lion and the, the crow over here. And I love this deck so very much, but that's what I'm feeling today. Some of you guys may be motherly or fatherly in nature, okay? And you tend to exert that everywhere you go. But the problem is you got to look at things from a higher point of view. And if you are dealing with people, some people may need that. It might have worked for you in the past, but it may not necessarily be working for you in this particular position, okay? So it's talking about that godly love and just being loyal to people. All right. And that's the energy that's going to work in this situation. People don't need fathers and mothers. All right. Especially when they're trying to find their own way. People get to a certain age and it's like, I'm trying to find my way and my footing. OK, especially if they have negative experiences with their parents. They don't want another parent, okay? They just want a friend. Okay, so with that said, let's get into the advice card. Even though I kind of feel like I've already given the advice, let's get into the advice card. Okay, now we get to advice card. I'm going to tell you, this reading has taken quite a bit of patience to get out. I pulled them out last night, and I thought I was going to do this reading last night. But I wasn't able to. So I held on to the cards till this morning. And as I'm explaining it, I had to stop a couple of times and get back into it. So it's just been really interesting trying to get this message and these cards out. But we are on the advice card. And I have the 7 of Earth with the choices card. Okay. The 7 of Earth is more of a grounding card. As you guys can see, here's a guy in green, meaning he's a very fertile, he's a very productive person, surrounded. So he's in the right environment. And here he is with we can clearly see that his chakras are balanced. And it's also very interesting that there's a snake around his neck. Okay, yet his chakras are balanced and he's in peace. Meaning you're not always going to find the perfect situation, okay? The devil's always going to be around. You're always going to have an enemy around you. But can you still remain balanced, okay, while your enemy or the snake is around you? That's what the balance chakra is about, especially with that snake around his neck like that. Now, this is coupled with the choice card, and this choice card coincides with the Fool card in our regular tarot deck, right? And it's about independence and making choices, okay? Being able to make choices and your independence and your free will to make those choices. All right? And when you look at the Fool, like I've been saying since I started this reading, that this is like a more evolved, higher, or mature way of looking at the tarot deck. When you look at the Fool, it is about he's leaving the past behind and he's starting something brand new. So it is about independence, right? It is about independence. Every time you're starting a new cycle, even if you're coming into the world as a baby, you're starting a new cycle to where I was, dependent on the womb. I lived as a parasite. Now I'm going into a different realm of living, right? With the Fool card, I might have been part of a group. I depended on that group. That group depended on me. And now I'm going off into my own, out of my own accord, into my own will. And that's the advice card today, is being grounded and knowing the cycles and making the right choices also during those cycles, okay? Knowing that everybody is capable of being you, all right? This is when you're looking at everything from a higher point of view. If you are looking at everything from the goggles of a higher point of view, then you are a king, but everybody else is also a king too. There are no peasants, okay? You are a leader and everybody around you is also a leader. There is nobody beneath you. And if you are thinking in that way, then you're going to make the right choices in treating everybody. And that's that agape kind of love. God created us in his own image. God himself came down as his child and killed that child because the child is not greater than us as human beings. But at the same time, is also looking at people and knowing what stages and cycles they're in. A grandmother understands that a child is at the child cycle, but at the same time, they're going to grow to become an adult. If you make somebody your child and you never allow them to become an adult, we're going to have a conflict of interest here. Okay. I'm going to let it out just the way it's coming out. I've been having a difficult time and this has been in pieces. Okay. This has been in a lot of different pieces, but I'm still going to let it out as it. So I thought I was done, but I just wanted to come back and say, I got in the end that it's all about treating others just the way that you want to be treated, okay? Love your neighbor just like you love yourself, okay? Treat yourself just like you want to treat other people. And I guess we're going back to the Bible principles when we're talking about unconditional love, where, just love your neighbor as you love yourself, period. And that's that universal unconditional love that I'm talking about today. I guess the overall message that I'm trying to get out. And that's the energy that's going to work for you, okay? Trying to be somebody's parent is placing yourself as, their guide, okay? And they always say the teachers are going to get judged harsher than the other people. I don't want to get judged harsh. All right. I don't know about you, but I don't want to get judged harsh. So therefore, placing yourself on the same level as other people. You teach people by understanding, especially by understanding the cycle they're in, knowing that they will one day come to be on your cycle. All right. They will one day come to be on your level. And you treat them as such. Okay, that's the only way you can see somebody else. Okay, you got to see people as who they're going to become and where they're at the same time. Okay. All right. With that said, y'all have a wonderful day. I hope this message got out clearly. Okay, because I was just having a tough time. Y'all have a great day.